Hello everybody, Bet's Golden here. Today I'm going to be making 3 cards with this little mini trifold stamp set by Art Impressions. The directions for the first card that I'm going to be making are actually on the back of the stamp packaging. And it comes with these 2 fun dies as well, which makes it so much fun for different types of cards. So let's get started with the first traditional card. I colored in the images using my Crayola color pencils, and now I am just going to follow the instructions on the back of the card. I've already folded it into 3 equal parts, and I've picked out some beautiful Christmas paper from the Frank Garcia Santa Baby line. It's through Prima, and I'm just using my good old trusty circle cutter that I've had forever from Creative Memories. And I found it easier to just lay out the pattern paper and adhere it first using my dual tip glue pen. It was so much easier to do this and then open it up and cut the circle out from there. I got perfect lining each time I did it, so I just laid it out on both sides that it needed to be cut on. And I do have a coupon code for that super tight. That stuff is pretty cool, the dual tip. I love it. That end has a brush on it, which makes it super nice. Once I got that laid out, I just went around with my circle cutter and lined it up and cut out that circle. I realized that I needed a different size, so I ran off to get that. And then once that was popped out, I went ahead and adhered that first layer to my card. I apologize for the noise in the back. My dog jumped into the pool and he wants in a bad way, and I'm not letting him in. He's soaked. The joys of living in the desert in the fall. They can swim. Alright, so I'm doing the same thing to that side, and I'm going to find the next piece. This piece is a little bit bigger than the first piece in the sense that it is showing more of a scene. It's a cute little house. I like to think it's Santa's house right there. Lining that up, and that folded out really nice. And then finally, I'm inking the edges with the Surface Ink by Brutus Monroe. I like this for this project because since I am using a wet adhesive, it could smear and the surface ink just goes down really nice and it dries quickly. So that is what that trifold looks like. So cute, but I'm not done yet. I wanted to add a layered card, a layered stamp, tree stamp from here, I believe it was Hero Arts. And so I did that, and then I found these beautiful trim pieces that were imported from Germany at my local craft store. So I cut those out, and now I'm using the fine tip end of my pen, and I am adhering that gorgeous, it's like almost like a metallic-y pink trim to the bottom of that card, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. I am using pop dots on the back of the tree. That just helps give it some dimension and a little bit more personality. And finally, I'm just going to layer that sentiment right under the window. And that again was from the Hero Arts. It was a tree layer stamp. I will provide for you the Blitzy website in which I found all these stamps. I did buy them. This is an affiliated link, so it doesn't cost you more to shop there, but it does help me. And then from there, my little card is complete. It's so cute. I love it. So that's the first way that you can make this card. And the directions, as I stated, are on the back of the packaging of the stamp set with the dies. Turned out really cute. So we're going to move on to the second way, and this is a shadow box card, and I have to admit that I was a little bit rusty on getting this put together. I do have a video link down below with a mermaid on it in which I show you how to do the shadow box technique. That would be a very good resource for you to use if you want to do this card this way. I did remember I needed to take a 1/2 inch off of that back flap to make this card. So I had removed that. This is your standard card, 4.25 by 5.5. And then I was just taking some measurements to make sure that I got my little shadow box insert correct. And basically what you do is from the inside, you want it to line up with that crease on the inside crease. So I folded over, I placed it in my card just to see if it lined up, and then from there I did another crease and about the 4.25 line, and then another one at the 4.5 line. So I did a couple creases, and as you're going to notice, I tried to make it a double shadow box, but I ended up only doing it single because I just didn't like how it looked. But this is definitely a good example of trial and error, and the card was able to be saved, and it turned out being really cute when I was done with it. But what you're going to do is you're going to actually line up the inside of the card crease with the edge of the card, and you will adhere it from there. If you do decide to do a double shadow box, all you have to do is just place your circle cutter over both of the cards and cut out both the circles at the same time. And then from there, you can go ahead and add in your little inserts. So I line up the edge of the card with the crease on the inside of the card, and that edge is about a 1/4 inch before it creases onto the paper. And then I adhered that first layer to the second layer, and then adhered it to the card. But at the end of the day, I ended up not really caring for it, so I pulled off one of the layers, which is totally fine. It worked. As that sets up, I'm going ahead and I am putting together the front of my card, again with that beautiful Frank Garcia Prima Santa baby line and some textured polka dot type cardstock. I think it's from Basil. I inked the edges and of the little sentiment, and then I'm going to throw down some more of the glue and just layer this up. The front of this card is pretty simple because the inside of the card is quite dynamic and beautiful. Once again, I'm using that gorgeous trim that is out of Germany. I found at my local craft store. And I'm just going to use a little bit in the corners just to give it a little bit extra va-va-voom. I don't even think I use much adhesive on it because I just kind of slide it in and let the adhesive work from the card mats that I have already put on. So once I get that all set up and going, I play around with a little tree. Thought that would be cute. And not sure if I'm going to do it or not at this point. Decide to wait until later. This time I put the glue on the inside of the circle and then just lined it up like so. Used my handy dandy rag. I ended up getting rid of that second insert. I added that last little circle after I had adhered the back of it. And now I'm going to put my sentiment on the inside of the card. When you are adhering the back of the card, you need to make sure that you fold it out and your back is even with your front, and it will make up for the difference of the 1/2 inch that you cut off of the back. I know it sounds confusing. It's really not. I was just rusty at it. So please go check out that really good video tutorial I have on how to put together these types of cards, and it'll answer pretty much all of your questions. Now, this is a reason why I bought this particular stamp set, was to make a shaker card. I have a serious crush on craft foam that you can find in the kids section of your craft store. I actually found 20 sheets of it for $1 at the dollar store. And if you know anything about shaker cards, they usually require quite a bit of the foam tape, which can be very costly. This is an inexpensive way to make a shaker card, and also have it thin enough so it can go through the mail, because sometimes those foam tapes can leave your cards quite bulky. I'm actually going to do a double layer shaker card, so there's going to be 2 layers of little fun things that move around in my card. Right now I'm just working on the base, or on the front of the card, just adhered that the same Santa Baby line by Frank Garcia through Prima. I love this line. It's so pretty and pink. Oh, just love it. And pretty much stick into the same thing. I love this set because they each are different. However, they are enough alike where they look like they all go together, and I can still mass produce them in a relatively quick manner. So I'm just laying out the front of the card. And that Hero Arts stamp that I used to create the tree with, I really, really like. You can do any kind of color combination to have it match whatever you're working on. So it's super fun. And I use my platform to help me line that up and make sure I get perfect placement. I really think that's the only way to go with those layered cards. I didn't do that in this video, but you can literally YouTube any stamp platform, it'll show you how to do it. I am actually using the all-purpose super tight silicone liquid glue. This is made for foam. So this is a really great adhesive to use for these foam sheets because it doesn't buckle. A lot of times when you use liquid adhesive, it'll buckle. Or if you use regular tape runners and you get some of the glitter under, it will come unloose, and then your recipient will have a nasty little glitter mess when they open up the card. So I really appreciate and value this adhesive for this project. I'm laying in some cute little shaker stuff, including some glitter. And then from here, I'm going to take my acetate and place that on that first layer using that same silicone based, or silicone safe, I should say, glue, again by Super Tight. It's their all-purpose. I am taking my little pouch so it will help not have so much static, which can cause your glitter to be a little bit crazy. And now I am adhering down that next layer, and I'm doing that first layer is going to be that bigger image first because that's going on the back. Now I'm going to lay down my second sheet of foam. Holding it there for a minute. I don't want it to slide around. It doesn't take much time for it to really adhere well enough to put your stuff together. Now I accidentally forgot that I needed to cover up that foam because it looks kind of ugly with a nice sheet of pattern paper. So I'm having to backtrack a little bit and find where my circle is with the pencil and go over and just get a rough outline. Now I did go ahead and cut my foam sheets down about a ½ inch smaller on both the length and the width, simply because things like this happen, and I know that it never ever lines up perfect. So this just allows a little bit of leeway in case I get this off and it's not perfectly over that circle and I have to manipulate it. I don't want that foam to show, and you'll see how that works out in just a minute. Sorry, I'm kind of off screen right here. From here, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more fun things, fun little shaker bits. I found those shaker bits actually in the dollar spot at Target last year, and I use them all the time. They came in a pack of 5, red, silver, the pine trees, gold, wonderful stuff. And then some more glitter, and I'm going to adhere that acetate sheet once again on top of this. So I have a double shaker. And it's still flat enough to get through the mail. Now I'm going to go back to my dual-ended adhesive for this because I'm not adhering anything to the foam at this point. And I really like to just use that glue for foam. I don't want to waste it. And now we are going to just top it off with that beautiful sheet of pattern paper by the Santa Baby line. And I kind of slide it around. It's another reason why I love liquid adhesive, is you can slide it around and really get a nice coverage, and it lines up nicely. I'm just holding it there for a few minutes, and then there you go. That is the third and final card. It's so cute, so much fun. I also used what is called True Snow modeling paste on this. I found it at my local craft store. I'm sure you could Google it. I believe it's by Adeline or Adele. It's really great stuff. It's about $5, and I've really enjoyed using that as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the bell too, so you know when I come out with some new videos for you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I hope you enjoyed this, and also look for those links. Until next time, happy crafting!